Today is a huge day if you're a fan of Zack Snyder's DC movies. Today is a huge day if you want to restore the DC universe of Zack Snyder. Because today is November the 17th, the very anniversary of the theatrical cut of Justice League, or as we call it, Justice League. We are not celebrating the release of that recycled piece of shit. We are using today to celebrate Zack Snyder's DC movies and hashtag, and I'm not sure what hashtag we're supposed to be using because the Snyder fandom is arguing at the moment, which is dumb, which hashtag to use. Now, I'm assuming we're either using Restore the Snyderverse or Sell Snyderverse to Netflix. I have no fucking idea. So tag me, don't DM me, but tag me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. Let me know what we're supposed to be hashtagging. It's a huge fucking momentous day. I cannot keep up with all the stuff Zach's liking on Instagram either. But he liked something monumental. Take a look at this. Take a look at fucking this. What is this, Mick, right? Zack Snyder liked a post about a report, an article that Saudi Arabia, the public fund or whatever you call it, have bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Why would Zack Snyder like this? Maybe he's behind the bid. Maybe he knows that he will get to restore the Snyderverse if they buy it. Because we were all under the impression that it's Netflix or bust. But this is very, very interesting. To the people who are saying this would be bad. This is happening in football, or as you Americans call it, soccer. Soccer, right? Many, many huge clubs, Premier League clubs, have been bought by Middle Eastern interests, right? It's happened to Manchester City. It nearly happened to my beloved Manchester United. And because Hollywood has been run into the ground by the insane activists and they've driven people out of cinemas, Hollywood, America, have done this to themselves. In the end, I believe most of Hollywood studios will be owned by Middle Eastern interests. They have more money than fucking God. But they're also ruthless people who know how to run things. And they will try and make and fund great movies. They will try and bring back Hollywood to its glory days. And I don't know if Hollywood can ever be brought back to its glory days. Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Hollywood, America, you've done this to your fucking self by destroying an entity that was created by a culture of people who were ingenious. They understood if they had aspirational actors and actresses and producers and directors, they had actors and actresses on the big screen that we wanted to be, we aspired to be, they would automatically make money via great entertainment. Current Hollywood didn't like that. They said, fuck this aspirational shit. You know, fuck dreaming the big dream. You should see yourselves on the big screen, which is utter bollocks. Anyway, that's the rumour that Saudi Arabia, a Saudi Arabian public fund, have bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, and excuse me, and by the way, apparently Comcast are also involved somewhere down the line. So this is very interesting, but you shouldn't believe anything that you read on the internet until this happens, you know, and it's obvious that Saudi Arabia have got so much money that if they have made a bid, they've outbid everyone else. Now, there's the whole American government thing. Would they ratify a bid by Saudi Arabia to buy Warner Brothers Discovery? That would be very, very interesting. This would be very, very controversial boys and girls. So, we go from that back to Cosmic Book Cast, which have got a bit of an exclusive. So, not Cosmic Book, it's Cosmic Book News, not Cosmic Book Cast. Right, so, here we go. This is from Cosmic Book News. Boom! On the eve of the anniversary of the theatrical Justice League release, our insiders have reached out with major updates about Zack Snyder, the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery, and what is now being described as a full-play scenario for the return of the Snyderverse. Warner Brothers Discovery is officially up for sale, and it's no coincidence that Zack Snyder has been posting non-stop DCEU images and liking fan content on Instagram that compares the performance of his films to James Gunn's struggling DCEU project. The timing lines up with what we have been told. If WBD is sold, James Gunn will be out as head of DC Studios. Right. Wait just there, there's more. This comes from the same insider who told us Daredevil Born Again was being completely retooled months before the Hollywood Reporter confirmed it, exactly as we reported. It's the same source who has been accurately filling us in on the WBD sale and David Zaslav's plans before the trades caught up. Their track record speaks for itself. So, again, I really do advise caution. We don't know if the Snyderverse is going to be restored. It is looking really fucking good at this moment in time. But with all my excitement, because this has been really exciting for me and other DC Snyderverse fans, right? But then, animated Snyderverse, again, has reared its ugly head. Because there's an insider reporting that Zack Snyder is going to make a DC Snyderverse animated movie called Nightmare. Again, Snyder liked this on Instagram. So where do I stand with animated Snyderverse instead of live action? My excitement level falls. Listen, I'm sure it will be absolutely beautiful and artistic. I'm sure Junkie XL will still compose the score. It will be absolutely fucking great and I'll love it. And if this is just the start of DC Snyderverse returning and then getting live action, that's fine. But getting animation instead of live action DC Snyderverse doesn't excite me as much as live action Snyderverse being restored, but it's still a positive move. This again will divide the fandom, but it is better than nothing. To the people who say that animation is cheaper than live action, don't forget, he's not going to be using old style animation like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. He's probably going to be using CGI animation, which isn't fucking cheap, and it isn't quick, it isn't easy, it isn't cheap, it takes time. More than likely, it's still cheaper than a full live action feature. I get that, and I know most of us don't really want this instead of live action. And when I heard this, my excitement level did go down. But this would be exciting because it would be something. Now, would Snyder, it's called Nightmare, right? Or Nightmares or whatever. So could this be a kind of prequel to Justice League 2 and 3? We don't actually know what this actually is going to be if it's real. Because Snyder did like this on Instagram, which would say that this, my friends, is absolutely real, right? So even though this doesn't excite me as a full restoration of the DC Snyderverse in live action, I'm still behind it, right? I wouldn't lose my shit. I know it's difficult for fans not to lose their shit on social media these days, but I wouldn't lose my shit over it quite yet. So it's a huge day. There are so many online rumours about the Snyderverse being restored. But as I said earlier, I do advise huge caution. We do not know if this is true. We don't know if this is going to happen. Now, DC Nightmare, the guy or the girl or whoever who has been giving very accurate information, kind of clarified what Cosmic Book News said here. So that also is very, very interesting. Look, I'm not part of any fandom. I'm a fan of art, film, television, entertainment. I want us to go back to inspiring the fucking audience. Me and you going to the cinema or turning our television on and being excited. Me hearing about a prospective future project and going, oh my God, I can't fucking wait. This is so good. Oh my God, I've got a geek boner, right? Because every time I hear a new project being announced these days, whether it's DC or something else, I'm not fucking excited. I'm waving my fists. Oh my God, it's the same old directors, the same old actors, and I'm sick to fucking death of it. I want to return to the times when we're excited about our television and our movies and our DC and even our Marvel and our Potter and our Lord of the Rings. It's not happening right now because reality has come crushing in. Politics has come crushing in to entertainment, and it's not a good thing. I don't care about your views. Don't tell me your views. You won't change my mind, right? My points of view won't change just because you publicly tell me what you think, right? Let's move away from the culture war. Let's move away from divide and conquer. Let's go back to uplifting the fucking audience because these were the parameters and foundations that were brought in when the entertainment industry first started, and we need to get back to it. But yeah, today, on November the 17th, it's a time to celebrate the DC Snyderverse and make sure you have the right hashtag, because today could be a huge day. We could find out something monumental. Will Snyder be on radio silence today, or will he be liking? Will he be posting? Will he have something to say? Will we actually get an announcement of the confirmation of the restoration of the Snyderverse, or has it all been a bunch of bullshit? Today, we will find out. But whatever happens, celebrate the Snyderverse. You know, hashtag sell Snyderverse to Netflix or whatever the proper hashtag we're supposed to be using is, right? Because it is an exciting day of celebration. Don't argue with your fellow DC fans. Don't argue with your fellow DC Snyderverse fans. Gunn and Safran have been shitting themselves about this day. They have been dreading this day because their era of DC is fucking over. And let's be clear, Snyder came onto Instagram for a fucking reason. He's been posting all these posts, liking all these posts for a reason. He knows we can see his fucking likes. Snyder knows exactly what he's doing. This isn't a coincidence. This isn't a clueless individual. He's been building up to this day. Are we getting the Snyderverse restored? I'm not going to sit here and misinform you. This channel isn't about misinformation, but I'm passionate. I want the Snyderverse to be restored. I will be hashtagging whatever the right hashtag actually is. And I want to see your gifts on X, Twitter, or whatever platform you're going to be on. I want a celebration. Don't argue with gun stands. Ignore them. Their time is over. They never had a time, right? They're not a real fandom. They're just a bunch of fucking bots. Just ignore them and celebrate loving art. Zack Snyder is art. Zack Snyder's DC Snyderverse is cinema. There's never been more DC cinema than Zack Snyder's art. I have a vision for a set of Green Lantern movies. I think that Zack Snyder, I would have him direct these Green Lantern movies. Because as I keep on saying, Green Lantern is Star Wars in the DC universe. Let's see the origins of OR. Let's see the origins of the Guardians. Let's not base it on Earth. Yeah, I think we should say there are two young dudes called Hal Jordan and John Stewart policing Earth. But I want to focus on all the Lanterns on different planets around the galaxy, but I also want to focus on OR. Do you remember Superman 78 when the camera pans to Krypton and it goes into Krypton and you see like the planet and you can see it's not Earth and that it's a foreign other planet. That's what I want to see at the beginning of this Green Lantern movie. I want OR explored. I want the origins of OR explored. And nobody could direct a galactic movie based on space. I want it in space. I don't want it based on Earth. Yeah, we can see John Stewart and Hal Jordan on Earth, that's fine, but I want to see the other Lanterns on the other planets. A Green Lantern set of movies, a trilogy, a franchise of its own, has a lot of potential. But a boring, sleepy, extreme left Lanterns TV show, which is Earth-based, isn't it. Happy November the 17th day, and I will respond to everything on tomorrow's DCEU Daily. See you later.